Hello friends, happy Friday. We made it to Friday. We have made it to the end of the work week. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. So once you hop on tonight's live or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and to tell me where you are watching from. I happen to be in central Kansas. I am also live in 2 locations this evening, so if you hear me refer to a comment that you don't see, that person may be watching on another platform. And just a little reminder, because Facebook likes to remove these lives after 30 days, if you ever want to go back and rewatch after 30 days, these are always archived over on YouTube as well. Also, if you happen to watch the video tonight or on the replay and you like what you see, please feel free to spread the craft love all over Facebook. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that heart button, tag your crafty friends, invite them to watch along with you. Not only does that help out my channel and get seen by new eyes, it also tells the algorithm that you like this kind of content. Therefore, your platform's algorithm will push this kind of content out into your feed more. So it helps me, it helps you, and I greatly appreciate it. And with that, let's go to the comments. I see that Jason is watching from the other side of the door. And we'll see who else happens to hop on. With that, let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and just flip the camera, and we'll show you what we are working on this evening. So I have this size D. Sorry you can't see quite all of it. It is a size D candy cane cafe transfer. So if you are new to Couture, this is a reusable silkscreen transfer. It's reusable about 8 to 12 times depending on how well you take care of it. It is sticky backed. They come in sizes A through G now, so anywhere from 4.5 by 6.5 all the way up to 18 by 24 and various sizes in between. And because this is reusable, I need to make sure that I mark the back side. So I'm just trying to find a pen that will write on the back side. So I'm just going to write the name of the transfer right on the back side of the backer sheet. That way, when I am done cleaning this transfer with water, it is all clean, it is air dried. I will put it back on the backer sheet, but I know that this is the front side and this is the back side. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and put this to the side because I want to do a little bit of distress painting. oops, there went my transfer, to this 18-inch wood round. This is a chunky Sheby thick, double C thick. This is one that I bought from Menards, but you can also find them at Lowe's and Home Depot. It had a different design on it. I did it in a live probably last year. You can kind of see parts of it, but it wasn't selling in either booth that I had, so I just decided to sand off the design, and then I stained it with I faux stained it with some Waverly Antique Wax. And then tonight I'm going to distress paint it with some Waverly chalk paint in Snow White. I happen to have some in a ink jar. It's just easier to get my paintbrush in and out of the wider mouth. So I just have a cheap chip brush. Jason says she be thick. She is thick. So this will probably just end up being a serving tray or kind of a large trivet. It's really too thick to be a door hanger. You can make it into a door hanger, but if it bangs against the door too much, because it's glued edge, it's just different pieces of wood glued together, it may get to where it splits down one of these glued edges. So it's better as a trivet or just a sign that you kind of prop up. So I'm just going to do a little bit of distress painting. I don't want it to be perfect. I want some of that stain to show through. I'm just going with the grain. How's everyone doing? How was everyone's week? Sorry I was not on Monday and Wednesday. We have a large service project that our church grow group organizes and carries out through the month of November and December, and it kicks off this weekend. And so we're doing a little bit of prep, not a little bit, a lot of prep work for that. We have 230 kiddos between 0 and 18 that need to be adopted by church members or community members. And then we have a giveaway event on December 20th for those kiddos and parents and families to come pick up those gifts. It's for 3 of the mobile home communities in Salina. It is a fun project, but it is a lot of work. So we had to get all of that done. On Tuesday, we cut out all of the tags and punched holes and put yarn in them. And then our church members will hopefully adopt all of them over the next 3 or 4 weeks and go shopping. And then they bring the gifts back in a plastic bag unwrapped. And then we spend every night the week prior to the event wrapping all of those. So our other grow groups help, other people help, friends of friends of friends help. If you want to help and your local help, holler at me and I will get you hooked up. We will wrap on December 15th, 16th, 17th, and probably the 18th this year of December. So if you have like a bunco group or a civic group that you belong to and you want to do a little bit of outreach, this would be a great opportunity. Or in lieu of office Secret Santa or Secret Sister or coworker gifts. This would be a great way to pool all that together and go together and adopt a kiddo or a family. That sounds like something you would be interested in and you're local to me. Holler at me and I will hook you up. Okay, what does that look like? Definitely not perfect, but I don't want it perfect. I'm gonna try to go around. I got on some of the edges. I'm gonna try to go around and wipe some of that off. If not, I may have to sand it. Oh, yeah, it's coming off. If you get it early enough, you can kind of wipe it down a little bit. Sorry, I'm clinking and clinging. And you could probably sand a lot of this off. I'm actually just mainly smearing it around. I apologize for anybody who might have earbuds in. Try to be a little less clingy. A little bit more. Okay. The rest we will sand off. Okay, let's get that dried. So I did put a cart link in the description of the video for all of the Couture supplies that we are using this evening. And Jason, as I switch slides, will you let me know if you lose audio? But there are some Black Friday deals and some monthly promos that I want to get out there. Hello, Miss Ashley. So I haven't made a whole lot of fuss about this, but the color of the month this month is called Something Borrowed. And the last day to get that is actually tomorrow. They are not extending the color of the month colors past the 15th of every month. So if you want to purchase color of the month, you can unlock the ability to purchase that with a $75 order. And again, you can do that through tomorrow, the 15th. We also have the Club Couture transfer and kit for the month. I don't remember if this one's called Winter Wonderland. I forgot what it's called. But it comes with the size B transfer, the wood frame and pieces, and then 3 chalk paste colors. It comes with black velvet, bright white, and it does come with a Something Borrowed paste single. So if you want to try the color but you don't want the whole 3-ounce jar, you could buy the you could subscribe to the Couture number and get that Something Borrowed for free this month. Hello, Miss Bonita. She says she was late. She had a date night. Home now and happy to hear me. Well, thank you. Where did you do anything fun on date night? We had date night last night. We had to run a bunch of errands. And then we went to Chick-fil-A. So, for those of you hopping on late, let me turn this down. I was apologizing because I wasn't on Monday or Wednesday, but our big service project for the year kicks off this weekend at church, and so we were prepping for that. We have 230 kiddos from 3 of the mobile home communities here in town that need to be adopted for Christmas gifts. And so we've been making tags. And normally we only have like 150-ish kids, so we only bought like 150-ish trash bags, because when the church members adopt the kiddos, they get a trash bag and the shopping tag, and then they return the gifts unwrapped in that trash bag with the code tag on it. It's a whole process, but we've got it down to a science. But we only had like 120 trash bags, so we had to go buy 120 more last night, so we did that. Anita said she just had supper and went to Hobby Lobby. We're usually at Hobby Lobby on date night, but I've been trying to shop my stash, so there isn't I probably have most of Hobby Lobby already in my basement. So then we also have a couple back to the promos. We do have some doorbuster Black Friday deals. These go through the 16th. So for $10, you can get a set of fabric markers. Mine should be here next week, but so that's one of the doorbusters. Oops. Oh, that's the one I'm on. Oh, I think I have a duplicate. Ooey. And then the next Black Friday deal, there are 2 new heat transfer packages. One of them is Snow Pals, and the other one is Pray on It. And remember, those come 2 in a package, and those are sublimation heat transfers. So they work with sublimation surfaces or like things with a higher polyester count. And then there are E-size transfers, and select surfaces are 50% off. I think this is pretty close to dry. And so those all run through the 16th. But then don't forget, go back one more time to Color of the Month. That does, tomorrow is the last day to purchase Color of the Month. So it now only runs through the 15th of every month. So if you have not picked that up, you might want to. In fact, where's mine? My little packet that came in the... Okay, I just saw it the other day. Oh, it's right here. Oops. Get back to the right slide. It is this one right here. So it's kind of a really pretty wintry, snowy blue. It's really pretty. Okay, so let's bring in our transfer, although I still also need to... I'm going to sand just a skosh, because I lifted up a few of the fibers when I was... Sorry, if you have earbuds, you might want to pull one of them out. Or if you don't like the sound of sanding. Okay. Wipe that off. Okay, that's better. Now we need to get our wax out. Again, I have linked everything in the description of the video. You can use the surface wax from Couture. Benita says, that transfer is huge. Yeah, it is a D-size. It's one of the 18 by 18s. It's the Candy Cane Cafe. I know it doesn't even fit. And I tried to lift up my camera a little bit just to get more in. Okay, so you guys have to be, speaking of camera, just trying to play a little bit. Do you like this portrait version better? Do you like the overhead, or do you prefer the front facing where you can see me and the project? I'm just trying to figure out what y'all like, what you all would prefer. So I just have some of this Minwax finishing wax on my wax applicator. So I'm just going to spread it around this wood round. And it's going to act as kind of a protective layer between my transfer and my painted surface, so that the transfer doesn't pull up my paint, and then the transfer doesn't stick so hard to the surface that it pulls or distorts when I stretches or distorts when I pull it up. Now I've got my microfiber side of my wax applicator, and I'm just kind of buffing out all of the wax, kind of getting it heated up and squished into all those nooks and crannies, and kind of getting some of the built up parts smooth again. Woo. It's like butter. Okay, it doesn't take much. I'm learning the more, less is more. Bonita says she likes the overhead view so she can see what I'm doing, but you do whatever you are comfortable with. I'm comfortable with either. I like, just because most people are probably watching on their phone, so this portrait view is better, but it really, it's not great for big projects. I just need to play with my camera mounts and settings a little bit. Okay, so let's take this bad boy off. I'm going to pop my wood round onto the floor for just a little bit. I'm going to get 2 fuzz cloths out. I need to get like a big beach towel for these. Whoops. Okay, when you are using these larger transfers like the D's and the E's, E's and the D's, D's and the E's, even the C's, I find it's best to pull the backer sheet away from the transfer. That way you don't get, it doesn't stick to itself as easily. Okay, so I'm going to put this away. And then I'm just going to plop that one down. I'm going to plop that one down. Oh boy, lots of gunk. I gotta wash my fuzz towels. Oh wait, it's over here. I have lots of gunk. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm using the terry cloth side of these towels to put a little bit of lint on the back side of this transfer, just to knock back a little bit of the adhesive. So that it's not so sticky. And you don't have to worry about losing all of the stickiness, because once you wash the transfers, that stickiness kind of comes back. So we'll do this side. Kind of get this one unsticky. Okay, I think we'll try that for right now. And if you do happen to get the transfers, especially these sizes stuck together, do not panic and try to rip it apart. Take it to a sink, run it under some water, get it really nice and wet, and then while you're still under the water, just gently start peeling the transfer apart, and it should be okay. Just do not panic and try to rip it apart. We've got a hair. Okay, so this round is 18 inches. This transfer is an 18 by 18, but the design is about a 16 by 16. So you're going to have an inch or so on each side. So I'm just trying to kind of eyeball it for evenness. I don't measure much. Okay, so we're going to be doing some pulling, pasting and pulling. I'm going to use, oops, I got a hair down here. I don't worry about the lint unless it's in the silkscreen area. That one is kind of hanging. So I've got cherry, I have ash, and I have ivy. So I know I'm going to do candy cane cafe in the cherry, probably the candy canes in the cherry, the holly berries in red and cherry, the holly leaves in green, probably some of this in ash, and then maybe this candy cane border in red. I think that's my plan. I'm going to do ash last. I'm going to treat it like it's black, or like it's black velvet, because when I do black velvet paste and I do it, put it on first, it gets everywhere. So I think we're going to start with cherry. And I'm going to get a couple of different squeegees out. So I just have my little silicone squeegee, and I'm probably going to be turning my project from side to side. So I'm just going to start in the candy cane cafe because that's the largest part right now. It's probably not the best place to start, but that's where we're going to start. So I'm just going to use my squeegee and put my paste wherever the silkscreen is. So I'll probably do a few letters and then peel that area up, just because I don't want my paste to dry in my silkscreen. So we'll probably stop when I get to the D. Okay. So I'm just going to gently pull it up. So I'm just releasing that from the silkscreen. I'm going to dry it just a little bit. I'm going to keep going. So I'm just going to lay that down. I'm going to burnish above and below. Oops. I don't have to worry about that much. So we'll keep going. Keep going with the Y. Oops, got a bubble. Got a big bubble. It's so quiet in here. Oops, got a little wild right there. So does anyone have their tree up yet? We bought a new one, but we haven't gotten it up yet. Okay, so I need to get out my, kind of smooth out my squeegee lines. And then pull up the rest of it and see what we have. Oops. Hello, Cinder Bange. Just happy to see you back to crafting. Enjoy your program. Thank you. Benita says she wants to put her Christmas tree up so very badly. Go for it. I do too, but I've got to get things done. We have some friends that go to our church, and they have a tree farm out on, I just looked at the address earlier today. Something Hobbs Road out by Assyria. It's between Lapsley and Simpson, maybe. So they have a Christmas tree farm, and so she has vendors, and so she asked if I wanted to have some stuff there, and so now I have to get some stuff ready. I didn't start till a few weeks ago, which was stupid on my part, but that's kind of how I work. So I've been frantically trying to get some stuff done. So we're just working on this 18-inch door round with this size E Candy Cane Cafe sign. This was something I had already had something designed on it, but it wasn't selling. So I just decided to sand it off, restain it, and use this transfer. And it's going to work out great, I think. So I'm using the color Cherry. So let's pull that off. I'm just pasting and pulling because I don't want my my paste to dry in my silk screen. I'm just doing it in sections. Jason says he's ready to put the tree up. We may have to go ahead and put it up, but maybe not decorate it, but at least get it put up and turned on because it's gorgeous. Okay, so trying to decide what parts to do next. Guess we can do the 2 Christmas trees in the middle. I should have probably done those when I did the Y. That's okay. I could also probably do the berries real quick. So I'm going to get out a multi-tool so it has a smaller squeegee at the end. I'm going to do these berries really quick. Oops. Okay. That there. We'll pull that up. Oops. Pretty little candy cane. I did missed a small little spot right about there. Let's see if, nope, made it worse. Okay. Now I think I'm going to turn it around. I think we'll do this candy cane stripe. I'm just burnishing it to make sure it's all down. I'm just using my multi-tool and going around the candy cane trim. Oops. Let's see if I can hurry. Can she do it? Can I get to the end before the other end dries? Okay. Here's hoping. So I can see I missed a spot. Very pretty. Okay, let's get that dried. Okay, so that part's done. So now we'll flip it around and we'll do that to this side. Okay. So what is your favorite, tell me in the comments, what is your favorite Christmas treat? If you had to pick just one. It could be homemade, store-bought. And we could even do savory treat. It doesn't have to be sweet either. It could be savory. Okay. Okie doke. Anybody have a special Christmas treat if they like? Jason says Oreo truffles are delightful. Yes, they are. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's flip it around. Bonita says her dad made the best peanut butter brittle on earth. She misses it. Yum. Okay, I'm going to do the holly berries in green, or the holly leaves in green. Should I do all of the text in green? And then I think all of this filigree stuff in ash. So I think I'm done with the red, perhaps. What do y'all think? Can definitely get the leaves done. So this is Ivy. This is one of the En Vogue colors. Ash is as well. This is the darker gray that we're going to use in a little bit. Okay, so let's at least do the leaves. Got gold paste on that one, so we'll get a different one. So I'm going to use my multi-tool to get the leaves. So this is one of the, I was saying this is one of the En Vogue colors, so it's not in the regular color palette. It doesn't mean that they won't make it a regular color after the season, but for right now, once it's gone, it's gone. And they might bring it back as a regular color, but if you want it, you probably should get it. I think I'd have to agree with Jason on the Oreo truffles, which is funny because I didn't even start making them till like probably the last 10 or so years. I got the idea from a lady when I worked at Caps. Thank you, Chelsea. And they've become a family favorite. Well, there are the holly leaves. Oh, it's beginning to look a lot nice. Good old classic red and green. I think this would have, I should have, why didn't I think about it now? This would have been pretty with a pink, like a light pink background instead of white. Darn it, now I want to do it over again. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the text green. Just to give it some color. That would have been really pretty with pink. Darn it. Okay, so if you make something like this with this transfer, I want to see it in a pink background. This would be pretty with a kind of a red and teal and lime green and pink, light pink colorway. Let's do those three. And these three. And then these three. Okay, pull that up. Ooh. So pretty. Anita says pink. She really struggles with that as a Christmas color. I'm with you, but it's been so pretty to see some of the signs with pink as the background. Like I'm good with like the dark pink, the red, and the teal, and like a lime green Christmas colorway. I think that's really pretty. But adding the light pink, it kind of does throw me off, but it's some of the signs I've seen made with that is really pretty. Okay, so let's come down here. Jason says it's turning out beautiful. Thank you. I've been wanting to play with this one. This transfer came out in June, and I've had it. I just haven't ever played with it. This would make a great pillow cover, a textile project with ink, with the heat set, with the permanent ink. I need to do more ink projects. I have a ton of pillow covers, not a ton, but I have plenty. I just need to make some. Okay. Oh, I forgot about the North Pole. Okay. So pretty. Okay. Clean that one up. Just so I have less to clean up later. I'm going to get out a detail tool, which has an itsy bitsy little squeegee at the end. I think that'll be good for the ash portions. I'm going to turn and do this side because it's been drying the longest. So I'm going to burnish most of that down. Okay, start with this side. And I may do half sections on this. I don't know. So this is ash. It's kind of between storm and black velvet. So it's a darker gray color. I'll try this. I may actually just get a I'll try just a mini squeegee that I've cut. I just have a little bit more control with the squeegee-like tools. Maybe. I need to stop and check here a little bit. These are some fine lines and they're going to dry quick. Okay. Hopefully that hasn't dried. Nope. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, I missed a spot over here. This is usually where I start to mess up because I'm getting close to the end, getting a little too overconfident, and I'm just flinging paste everywhere. Okay, let's pick that part up. This part's the okay. Burnish that part back down. I also notice I sometimes don't put enough paste on my squeegee, and then that makes it a little more difficult. There, I have to use more strokes to get the paste where it needs to be. And it's harder to spread. Okay, keep going. Benita said it's turning out beautiful. Thank you. Because these lines are so thin, I'm not really worrying about squeegee lines. So I'm just kind of slapping it on there. Okay, get that part pulled up. Those lines are dainty. Okay, bottom half now. Not as many. So I'm going to burnish everything down. Okay, keep going. I gotta get a new chair. This one's squeaky. I'm not really flatulent, it's just my chair. Anybody have any big weekend plans? Is it Prairie, if you're local here, is it Prairie Patches this weekend or was that last weekend? I don't even know anymore. I don't really go to those anymore. I don't need any more ideas. Because I'm always like, well, I can make that. Or, yeah. And I won't ever make it. So I don't need any more ideas. Jason says he never thought I'd hear. Benita says it was last weekend. He never thought he'd hear me say flatulent. Well, better than the alternative, I guess. Getting my letters all yicky. Oops. Come on. Okay, let's pull that part up and that part. So this transfer will also fit on, there are some like 15 3/4 inch rounds at Walmart in the craft section for like $10, and this will fit on those. I tested it this morning because right now it will also fit on the rustic rounds, but those are out of stock right now. So I did get this round at Menards. You can also get these similar type boards at, I think, Lowe's and Home Depot. But Walmart carries those 15-inch rounds, and they're really nice. They're like a half an inch. So they're not a thin 1/4 inch, and they're not this thick 1 inch either. They're a nice board. This little thing is hard to get. Let's go back to our detail tool that's a little skinnier. And not as bendy. Sometimes the flexibility matters. Like sometimes this is the detail tool is a little too rigid. Sometimes you need the flexible mini squeegee type squeegee. But for these little tight quarters, I think the detail tool works better. Less room for error. Not as easy to go off the rails and get all wild and paste everywhere you don't want to. But for these more open areas, I think the flexible one works better. I can move the paste more with this type of squeegee. But that may not be for everybody. You just have to figure it out how it works for you. Whew, those were some detailed lines. It is not for the faint of heart, but it is totally doable. Benita says she sanded all of the wax off twice, but it just wouldn't work. We'll try the transfer again this weekend on something else. Huh. What kind of surface was it? That's too bad. Woo, those detail lines are not for the faint of heart. Okay. I'm going to pull this off, put it on there. So I will just wash this with water. I have a kind of a large storage tote, kind of a shallow storage tote that I do for the C's, D's, and E's, and so that's what I'll use. But here is what we have. Get this. I'll show it to you here in a little bit. I don't know if I want to add any embellishments. The only thing I was going to check, I'm all got all over my hands. I have, not there. I thought this would be might be a cute tray. So I have a couple of handles, but I did want to show you this. I do have a boo-boo. I had a bubble in my in the silk screen, which I have a little tiny bleed there, and then I have a little piece right there that I'll just have to paint in. And I have a few other, like the gray. Some of it's a little lighter than others, but it's not totally centered either, but that's okay. But it looks, Benita says that's gorgeous. Jason says it's perfect. Benita says one of the large giant ornaments from Hobby Lobby that she painted. Oh, you painted it with Dixie Belle paint. What could have happened, and I don't know, because Dixie Belle paint has a top coat, a top coat built in, so maybe there was some weird chemical reaction between your wax and the top coat, but I think I'm trying to look around. I've just got that Dixie Belle stuff last week, and have I used it on a sign with wax? I'm trying to look and see what I don't. That might have been the problem. I can't guarantee it, but because Dixie Belle has that top coat in it that's built in, that might have had a weird chemical reaction with that wax. Okay, so this might be kind of cute as a tray. I just happen to have a couple of different style handles in my stash. So we've got this set. That we could maybe put like that. That's actually really cute. Oops, you can't even see those. There's that set. And let's put it this way. So there's that set, which is actually really cute. And then I have this set, but it might work. I like to use these with my round trays because the handles mimic the round shape. I'm gonna get chalk paste all over my sleeve. And I used to be able to get these at Hobby Lobby, but I think they discontinued these. Womp womp. And these I obviously picked up at Hobby Lobby in the clearance department, so they're not available anymore. But I think they have similar versions. Anita says she normally uses Waverly chalk paint, but didn't have enough red on hand, so you gave that a shot. Again, I can't guarantee anything, but that would be my first guess. See, I like these handles because they mimic the shape of the tray. It doesn't really matter. Ashley says such a pretty sign. These are wider, so they're gonna, and they're solid down here, so they do cover up the graphic. And these cover it up too, but you can still see it underneath. So if I did decide to make it a tray, I think I would use these white ones. What do y'all think? Would you leave it as just a sign, or would you make it a tray? And this wouldn't be like a serving tray. It would have to, I mean, you could make it a serving tray, but I would probably put some parchment or wax paper over it if you were going to put like food on it directly. But you could get like a glass platter and put over it, or even a clear plastic platter, and then put your food on it. Ashley says she likes the tray idea. Jason says he liked the black handles too. I do too, but I'm afraid they show or they cover up the design. These do too, but because they appear to be a little more open, you can at least see the design underneath. I like these handles with these particular rounds, but I don't know. I kind of also just like it as a sign. What do you? I don't know. I don't know. Just want to remind you real quick, because some of y'all hopped on. We do have some doorbusters. These are valid through Sunday. There are some fabric markers for $10. You get a set of those. There are also 2 new sublimation heat transfer sets, the Snow Pals and the Prey on It, and you do get 2 transfers per package. Those are $10 right now. Also, all E-size transfers and select surfaces are 50% off. So if there's something that they did bring back some fall E-size transfers and some past E-size transfers, so make sure you are looking at those. So yeah, that's Miss Benita is asking a question. She says, if I put the handles on, how thick is the wood? Oh, she be thick. This one is one of those 1-inch-ish thick boards from Menards, so it could take the handles just fine. So yeah, this one, she be thick. I don't know what I want to do. It's really pretty both ways. Tell me, what would you do if you were making this one? Would you make it a tray or would you make it a sign? I don't know. I could also go look for some black handles like this. I mean, I do really like these, but it just covers up too much of the design. It just barely cuts off the C. Probably because I don't have it on there even. I could go to the old Hoblob and find some, yeah. If I could find maybe some black ones like this. I just don't like the fact that it's cutting off some of the... Jason says he votes tray. Well, looks like we're going to Hobby Lobby. Let's go! I do like the white though too, but I think black may pop off a little better. Oh, that's just so pretty. So pretty. Okay. I'll play with all that tomorrow. Let me show you what it looks like. My vantage point. Oops. I never can figure this out. And I need to move my camera back so you can see. So that's what it looks like. It's so pretty. I still think it would look really pretty pink. Maybe if I might do a 15-inch round and I could do the background in pink. And maybe instead of the ivy, I could do like a pesto or another green. Benita says she would make it a tray and she'd find a piece of glass or plexiglass to sit on your table. Because it's definitely not food safe. Oh, you could make it a Lazy Susan. That would be really pretty. That would be very pretty. Oh, perfect. It would be a cute little tray. You could leave it out on Christmas Eve and leave Santa some peppermints and some cookies, and it would be, but again, I would put something over it like a clear plastic tray or something else. if you're going to put food directly on the surface. Or you could get little single glass plates and do like your cookies. And hold it up because you can't see what I'm doing. But you could get a smaller glass plate and you could put your small glass plate of cookies here. You could put your small glass plate of carrots, your small glass plate of candy canes, and then a little clear cup of milk. It would be a cute little excuse me, cute little Christmas Eve tray. Okie doke. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be live tomorrow just because I have a ton of projects and I owe you some from this week. And I know I say that every week, but I promise, pinky swear, promise that I will be live at least one more time this weekend. Kind of depends on what my schedule is, but I'm thinking maybe around 4 o'clock each day. So if I go ahead and schedule that, I need to adhere to that, right? Okie doke. Thanks for giving me some grace this week to get that service project off the ground. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this evening. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.